going.
So we're working on a 2006 Acura TL with a 3.2 liter engine, and evap light keeps coming on. Check engine light's currently on right now, so we're going to go into the OTC scanner. Acura TL. We're going to go in our engine. Ignition switch is on. There we go, just took a little while. Read DTCs. The codes that we have in it. Sometimes your evap code or your light, like check engine light, will come on. It'll come on and it'll go away. It'll come on and it'll go away. Several things can be the reason for that. You could have an evap large leak because your gas cap O-ring is bad and you're not screwing it into the vehicle enough to seat up against that O-ring. Or even if you do screw it in enough and you hear that clicking sound, or it is tight all the way, the O-ring itself can be bad on the gas cap. So you can spend the 10-15 bucks, go ahead and replace the gas cap and see if that fixes your problem. Pull your negative terminal on your battery on the older vehicles. On the newer ones, pulling that battery terminal to reset your codes could set a series of a dozen other codes off plus and cause even more problems. And then you have to go into the dealer to do a battery monitor reset. So you might be better off just going ahead and get one of them little plastic OBD doggles that you can plug into your port and Bluetoothing it to your phone and clearing the codes that way, or just go to your local AutoZone. Some of them will clear the code, some of them won't. So this is what we're looking at here. P0443 evap emission control purge control valve circuit. So this is telling me something is wrong with the control valve circuit of the evaporative sensor, or the sensor itself is bad. There's nothing wrong with the circuitry on this car. The evap purge valves on a lot of the vehicles are notorious for going bad. Not just one specific manufacturer, a lot of them. This vehicle has, I think, 160 some thousand miles on it. It's a 2006. It's due an evap valve. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you out there. I'm going to show you how to replace it on the engine. And then I'll make it quick. I'll just point out the stuff you need to take apart, plug back in, get back into the scanner, and then clear all your codes, and that's it. I'm going to make it a short video. So thanks, guys. So what I'm doing is I'm pulling, there's two 10mm bolts. I just popped this plastic cover off the front of the engine right here. It's got these three little twist tabs in the front. Twist it, twist it, twist it, pop the cover off, set it off to the side. I've got a long 10mm socket on just a little 1/4" drive ratchet. I've got my new sensor here from Napa. Part number 600-9931-1. And I pulled my two 10mm bolts that sit inside this sensor. One sits top, one sits on the bottom, like so. And it just bolts to the side of the intake manifold. So what I'm doing now is I'm pulling the sensor off. So I pulled the connector here. I pulled the sensor away from the intake manifold. I'm going to go ahead and work this off of the throttle body nipple, or the intake manifold nipple. Now there's two ways I can do this. I can pull this out of the way and take lines off lower or back here, and it would be a pain in the butt because it ties into two other lines. Or I can just simply, can you see what I'm doing?
Yep.
I can simply just take this little quick connect clamp here off, move it down, grab the bottom hose, and spin that right out of there. Come back over here. Spin this off. Make sure I keep it in this direction and know which way it goes. So I'm putting it back down. Got this one in the same direction. This goes right back on the top port. My silver tab is facing me. I'm going to go ahead and slide this back down to the connector point, or the nipple. I'm going to go back over to the engine and put this on.
Yeah, have a good weekend.
You too. See ya.
Adios.
So I'm going to slide this on the nipple down here. And then I'll slide this on the nipple up here. I'm going to have to slide that clamp up on the bottom. Actually, I'll pull this back off and get that clamp pulled back up down here. And I'll pull this clamp back up. Slide my bolts back in. One on the bottom. This, if you get this sensor at Napa, it's about 80 bucks. If you get it online, you can find them for as low as like 30, 35 bucks. I like Napa parts because they're a little bit better than everybody else, and that's my personal opinion. I haven't had as many problems buying aftermarket from them. Or you can just go online and try to find the OEM stuff for like 30, 35 bucks. You can search on Amazon, they're all over the place. Plug this back in. Go ahead and tighten it up just a tad. It doesn't have to be super tight because it has metal grommets inside the metal liners inside the plastic grommet that sits inside the connector. So just snug it up like so. Reach down here on the bottom. Like that. Put the cover back on. Go inside the car. Now we're going to go back in here and clear all the codes out. And then I'll check let's see if I can run an evap test with this. See, one of the counts already went away. No, it didn't. It's still there. I thought one of these went away. Let's see if they clear and come back. If they don't come back, I know I'm good. Normally it'll take a couple drive cycles, key on, for you to fix this. But I've already fixed this problem before in these particular vehicles, so I already know that this is the problem. Some of these on specific scanners will actually let you run an evap test. It usually requires a fuel range of like a quarter tank to 3/4 of a tank, no more, no less. Okay, so it's cleared the codes out. Now what we'll do is we'll go back and see what kind of tests we can run. Maintenance tests, brake service, service light reset. No, we don't want none of those. What do we want? We want see if this will even do it. Well, it ain't gonna let us. Let's see how many. Let's see if it'll continue to stay off after I start it back up. Normally it'll do it a couple times, a couple key cycles. Sometimes it could be up to 50 key cycles before you'll know whether or not it's good. But this guy said just a couple key cycles, the light would come back on right away. Let's do it like 5 or 6 times. Okay, no light. Again, the other thing would be for an evap leak, check your evaporative canister. Check your gas cap O-ring. If not, just go ahead and replace it if you're unsure. Check your lines. Make sure none of your connector wires going into your evap sensor are bad or corroded. If all that stuff checks out, 99.9% of the time it's always going to be a purge valve. Every single time almost. Thanks, guys.